All right, everybody. This is Poetry Book Lesson 2, and we are going to talk about different types of poems of which you will have to write and put in your poetry book that is due in May. So let's get started. One of the types of poems that we're going to talk about today is called a couplet. A couplet. Think of couple when you think couplet. So it's a two-lined poem. Each line has the same number of syllables, and the endings of each line rhyme with one another. So two lines, same amount of syllables, they have end rhyme. For example, sorry about that. To meet, to know, to love, and then to part is the sad tale of many a human heart. That was by Samuel Coleridge. So you can hear the rhythm in it. You can hear that they have the same amount of syllables, and of course you have part and heart, which are rhyming. Okay. Next we have the triplet. Not to be confused with the tercet. A tercet is simply a three-lined stanza. The triplet is a three-lined poem that stands alone. So let's look. 3 lines that rhyme, and each line must have the same number of syllables. For example, in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the students put up with the most trickery in this school of uppermost mystery. So, and that's probably more feminine rhyme, so it might not sound as like sort of hard set for you, but those are the same number of syllables, 3 lines, and they rhyme, and therefore, that, my friends, is a triplet. Moving on to the quatrain. So, the quatrain is going to have 4 lines that rhyme, but it's going to follow one of 4 patterns. And we talked about, how you label the first line as A. And if the second line rhymes with it, then it is also labeled A. You're labeling rhyme. If it's not, you label it B. You go through the alphabet. And so the 4 possible patterns for a quatrain are AABB, which would be like 2 couplets together, or ABAB, which would alternate the lines rhyming, or ABBA, the first and last rhyme and the 2 middle rhyme with each other, or ABCB, which is where only the second and the last line rhyme. Any of these are acceptable for a quatrain. Let me get this up here. Okay, so, who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. So that's part of a song by the Beatles, and you'll notice that there is a specific rhyme scheme. So there's nothing that rhymes with you, so that's A, and because it's the first line. And then you have the second line, still is going to be labeled B. Well, lifetime doesn't rhyme with you or with still, so it'll be labeled C, and then will is, of course, rhyming with still, so that'll be B. So you have A, B, C, B pattern here for the quatrain. All right. So now we have the cinquain. Think cinco, okay, 5. So you are going to have 5-line non-rhyming poem, but it's going to follow a specific format. You have to stick to this in order for it to be a proper cinquain. So for the first line, you'll have the title, like 1 word. And then the second line will describe the title in 2 words. The third line will express action in 3 words. The fourth line will express a feeling or a thought about the subject, which is in 4 words. And the fifth line will be a synonym for the title or a word close in meaning, okay? Let's check out an example. Country. Powerful, prideful, obeying, unmoving, bleeding, a land artfully deceived, America. So we have first line is the title. Okay, great. So that's what we need. Second line describes the title. Okay, well, how do you describe the country? Powerful and prideful. All right. Third line, express action in 3 words. Obeying, that's action. Unmoving, that's action. Bleeding, that's action. And a lot of times that third line, I'm sorry about that. A lot of times that third line is going to be ing words, but that's not always going to happen. Sometimes, let me get you back over there to it. Sorry about that. Sometimes these will be, have different endings. It could be like run, jump, swim, and that's okay. But a lot of times you're going to have the ing because it just seems like it's just currently happening. It's a good, strong sort of sound to it. All right, and so then you have the fourth line, which is going to be a feeling or a thought. And so how do you feel about the country, according to Dawn Slanker? A land that is artfully deceived. Okay. So she thinks that her country is being deceived. Okay. Which you can look back where it said right after powerful, it says prideful. Unmoving and obeying, but bleeding. So she has some concerns. And then you come back for a synonym for the first word, and she has America. Okay? So, you want it to kind of have this sort of circle effect. You want to go from to the top back to the bottom. So that's a Cinquain. Let me pull this down so you can see the rules one more time. First line, title. Second line, describe the title. Third, express action. Fourth, a feeling or a thought. Fifth, a synonym for the title. Okay? So that will conclude lesson 2 for the poetry book on specific types of rhyme. And then, so we have covered couplet, triplet, quatrain, and cinquain. What you need to do is get out a piece of paper and you need to try to write one of each. If you would like, you can rewind the video and go back and listen to me explain it and then write them in between. That will be fine. If you have any questions, you can catch me in class. You can message me through the Weebly page or you can email me.